What if, after death, you woke up and found everything just as normal as before? Imagine being given another chance, not to live forever, but to discover your mistakes and fix them. That's where this strange story begins. The story starts with a boy named Min. He suddenly opens his eyes and realizes he is lying inside the hospital morgue. He's dead, but he remembers nothing. Confused, Min slowly walks out of the morgue. The moment a nurse sees him, she screams in shock and faints. The next time Min opens his eyes, he finds himself lying on a hospital bed. Still terrified and confused, Min tries to escape again. But this time, a doctor, a nurse, and an unknown man try to stop him. Min somehow escapes and runs to the elevator, only to discover it isn't working. In desperation, he tries to climb out through a window while it's raining outside. But as he slips, something impossible happens. Instead of falling to the ground, Min suddenly finds himself standing in midair. There, he meets a mysterious man who introduces himself as the Guardian. Min asks, "Am I alive?" To prove he isn't dreaming, the Guardian slaps him hard. Then he explains, "Your soul has been placed inside Min's body for a second chance at life. This life is a gift, but you don't have forever. You only have 100 days to discover the mystery behind Min's death. After that, your soul will vanish forever." As proof of his words, the Guardian hands him a glowing heart glass, its sands slowly counting down to 0. The next morning, Min wakes up in the hospital. A doctor checks him and says in disbelief, "You were gone for an entire day. Dead. In my 20-year career, I've never seen anything like this." Min is discharged and taken home by his mother. She tells him to stay in his younger brother Kin's room for now, since he has no clothes of his own. Kin doesn't seem happy to see Min return. In fact, he acts cold, saying he has a party to attend and leaving the house without a care. Min begins to feel something is wrong. He asks his mother what really happened on the day he supposedly committed suicide, but she becomes emotional, avoids the question and leaves the room. That night, Min secretly begins investigating his past. He discovers photo frames and family albums, but strangely, none of them contain his picture. Then he notices a locked room, the old room that once belonged to the real Min. He tries to open it but fails. Just then, Kin appears, forcing him to stop. The next day, when the house is empty, Min tries again. He searches every key in the house, but none work. Determined, he climbs the balcony, scales a pipe, and enters the room through the window. Inside, he is shocked. The room is completely empty. No clothes, no belongings, nothing. But then he finds one old photo frame. It has his picture, and beneath it, a date of death. The frame slips from his trembling hands and shatters on the floor. Hearing the sound of the broken frame, Min's mother rushed in and asked, "Did you come here again to try and take your own life?" Min shook his head and said softly, "No, I never had such an intention." His mother hugged him tightly, tears rolling down her face. "Do you know, I found you lying right here on this floor. I carried you to the hospital myself. Please, never do that again." The next day, Min got ready for school. His mother dropped him off and whispered, "No one here knows about your suicide attempt. I told them you were absent because of a fever. If anyone asks, just say the same." While checking his wallet, Min found a pin and a business card. Unsure of what to do with it, he simply put it back inside. At school, his best friend Lee took him to the drawing club, where students were preparing for an upcoming event. Min noticed something strange. Several girls had the same pin attached to their shirt collars. Curious, Min pinned his own collar and followed one of the girls into a classroom. To his surprise, it was an all-girls class. Embarrassed, he quickly slipped out and headed to the library in search of notes. There, he saw his friend Pai. Pai was stunningly beautiful, and Min couldn't take his eyes off her. Wanting to impress her, he secretly used his mother's credit card, went shopping, got a haircut, and polished up his look. Later, after school, Min spotted his father. His father handed him some medicine and said, "Take these to the psychiatrist." When Min delivered them, the psychiatrist asked him strange, unsettling questions. Suddenly, he popped the medicine into his own mouth and let some pills float mysteriously in the air. At that moment, Min realized the truth. The psychiatrist was none other than the Guardian. The Guardian smirked. "So, how's everything going?" Min replied, "On the surface, everything feels normal. My parents, my brother, my friends, but Kin, my brother, he feels different. He hates me and I don't know why." The Guardian reminded him, "Don't forget you don't have much time. The mystery behind your death must be solved, only then will the heart glass stop counting down." Days passed. At school, a festival was being planned. Min had only 68 days left. He invited Pai to go with him. At first she refused, worried about upcoming exams, but eventually she agreed. The two spent quality time together, celebrating, laughing, enjoying simple moments. Pi noticed something different in him. "You've changed. You're not the same Min as before." Min smiled. "Which version of me do you like better? The old Min or me now?" Pi blushed and said, "Pass your exams first, then I'll give you my answer." The next morning, Min's mother was on the phone with his father. On the table was durian fruit. Strangely, Min began eating it, something the old Min would never do. His mother was shocked but overjoyed to see this new side of him. She told him childhood stories, and for the first time in a long while they shared warm, happy moments together. But time kept slipping away. Only 28 days remained. One day, while hanging out with Lee, his friend suggested, "Let's go on a trip tomorrow." But Min shook his head. "I can't, I'm meeting Pi." The next day, Min and Pi went to a bridge. She playfully shampooed his hair, they ran together and laughed under the open sky. It was Min's birthday, though he didn't even know it himself. Pi gave him a handmade gift. It touched him deeply. Since Min had passed his exams, Pi finally answered his question with a smile. "Yes, I like you. Not the old Min, but you. This new Min." Then she kissed him. Later, Min returned to the classroom to store some belongings. There he stumbled across old photos. Looking closely, he realised something chilling. In every picture, the real Min always seemed different from everyone else. Min sat quietly, lost in thought. While looking through an old photo, he suddenly realised he had his own locker in school. When he opened it, the locker was completely empty. Just then, Lee appeared. "Lee, if you need to store something, just keep it in my locker." "Min, why would I touch your locker without permission?" "Lee, really? You already keep your laptop and other things in my locker. Did you ask for permission then?" Confused, Min asked, "What laptop are you talking about?" Lee handed him a note. On it was written, "Deliver the laptop to my mother on October 23rd. Min's eyes widened. "So, did you give the laptop to my mother?" Lee shook his head. "No, when I went she wasn't home, so I gave it to Kin." Hearing this, Min rushed home, but Kin wasn't there. Desperate, he searched Kin's room for the laptop. Instead, he found old photos. In every one, his own face had been scratched out. He also discovered documents and a passport, proving that Kin was planning to study in Germany. Checking Kin's PC, Min found chat logs with a girl named Ayman. From the conversations, Min learned the truth. Kin and Ayman had planned to go to Germany together, but because of their constant fights, their parents forbade Kin from leaving. Since then, Kin began to hate Min, so much that he refused to acknowledge him as a brother. Even worse, Kin had found Min's suicide notes but never told their parents. Min read further into the chats and discovered that Kin's relationship with Ayman had already ended. The next day, Min finally found the missing laptop, but before he could open it, Kin appeared. Furious, Kin snatched it away and threw it out the window. Min ran outside, only to see the laptop floating in mid-air. On a nearby bench sat the Guardian, this time disguised as an old woman. Min shouted, "Give me back that laptop." The Guardian smirked and suddenly dropped it. A car ran over it, shattering it completely. Still, Min carried the broken laptop back to his room. Somehow, he managed to power it on. The screen was cracked and blurry, but one file opened. Inside was the original suicide letter. As Min read it, his hands trembled. "I hate everyone around me. I'm disgusted by how they treat me. My father is selfish. He only loves money, never cared for us. My brother Kin despises me and treats me like I don't exist. I am tired of everyone's behavior. The only peace I can find is in death. That's why I destroyed all my photos. I don't want my memories tied to this family anymore. In a family where I have no value, I don't deserve to stay. I want to go far away, forever. I've burned all my belongings so no one remembers me. Let the world forget that Min ever existed." Min sat alone in his room, mixing poison with a bottle of Coke. He drank it slowly, his eyes heavy with despair. Soon after, he collapsed on the floor, ending his life right there in that dark, silent room. In his suicide note, Min wrote about Pi, the only person who could ease his pain. He confessed that whenever Pi was around, his sadness disappeared. His heart felt lighter. The letter went on, but before Min could finish reading it, the laptop broke completely. Its screen shattered beyond repair. Desperate to know what more had been written about Pi, Min began following her. One day, Min secretly watched Pi studying in her classroom. His heart froze as he saw the teacher approach her, touching her in a disturbing, inappropriate way. Min clenched his fists, his entire world shaking. Without hesitation, he stormed into the classroom and punched the teacher hard in the face. Dragging Pi out, he led her to a bridge. With anger burning inside, he asked, "Do you have a relationship with that teacher?" Pai broke down in tears and confessed, "To become the top student in the Olympiad, I had to endure his abuse. Without his help, I would never achieve it." Their argument grew louder. Min climbed onto the edge of the bridge. Terrified, Pai thought he was about to jump, but Min looked down and said coldly, "Don't be afraid. I won't jump. The truth is you should. You've already fallen so low, just for your career." The next day, the school principal summoned Min's father and reported the incident. Furious, his father scolded him harshly. For the first time, Min shouted back, spitting out his anger. Later, he stole his mother's business card and went to meet her at her apartment. When the door opened, Min's world shattered again. He saw his mother with another man in an intimate embrace. His face turned pale. Shocked and disgusted, he stormed away. His mother ran after him, calling his name again and again, but Min refused to listen. That night, under heavy rain, Min stood on the same bridge again. Dark thoughts of suicide consumed his mind. Suddenly, the rain stopped. A child appeared beside him. It was the Guardian, once more in disguise. "Why did you kill yourself?" the Guardian asked. Min's voice cracked. "Because my life is cursed. My parents, my brother, my lover, they all destroyed me." The Guardian shook its head. "Wrong again. You still have 3 days left." Back home, Min destroyed everything in his room. Lee arrived, worried, asking what had happened. "Tell me," Lee pleaded. "I'm your friend." But Min's voice was bitter, broken. "You think you're my friend? Do you know why Min never came to school? Because he was already dead. He killed himself, and in his suicide letter there wasn't a single word about you. You believe he trusted you, but he didn't." His words cut deep. Lee's eyes filled with tears as he ran away, heartbroken. Moments later, Min's father called. "Come to the restaurant with your mother. Tonight, we eat together as a family." At dinner, everything seemed strangely normal. But outside, the storm raged. On the way home, Min's mother suddenly broke down, crying. She begged for forgiveness. "Please, forgive me. Let's run away together, just like we planned. We'll leave everything behind and go to Bangkok, just you and me." But Min snapped. "I'm not your son. Your real son is dead. He killed himself." His mother's hands trembled as she tried to calm him, but Min's voice only grew louder, filled with rage. Suddenly, screeching tires, blinding lights, their car collided violently. Metal twisted, glass shattered. Both Min and his mother were left bloodied, broken and unconscious, as the rain washed over them. When Min opened his eyes, he found himself lying on a hospital bed. The very first thing he did was search for his mother. He rushed out of his room and ran straight to her cabin. There, he saw her, in a very critical condition. At that moment, Kin revealed everything to Min about his mother and said, "Your parents never stopped me from going to Germany. It was my decision not to go. I gave you everything, Min, but still you chose suicide. Please, stop thinking that nobody loves you." Min was not badly injured, so he was allowed to return home. When he opened the fridge, he found a box of durians his mother had left for him. It made him emotional. He sat quietly holding Pai's gift in his hand, thinking about everything he had done wrong. Slowly, he began to realize his mistakes. He then picked up his unfinished painting and completed it, knowing his time was almost over. The next morning was Min's last day. His 100 days had come to an end. That day, he stayed at school. During the ceremony, all the Olympic students gave their speeches. When Pai's turn came, she saw Min sitting there. Overwhelmed with emotion, Pai froze. She could not give her speech and instead walked out. Min followed her and saw Pai holding a broken glass, ready to harm herself. Terrified, he begged her not to do anything rash. He apologized sincerely for everything and said, "I'll always be here for you, Pai. You're not alone." On the table nearby, Pai noticed a painting. It was from Min. Seeing it, she burst into tears. Later, Min went to see Lee. He apologized to him too, confessing that Lee was his best friend, the one he loved most. He promised never to lose their friendship again. Lee, touched, forgave him, and they laughed together. Then Lee revealed something. "I submitted one of your old paintings for the competition." When Min saw the painting, he was shocked. It was exactly the same as one he had drawn before, and he wondered how that was possible. Suddenly, all of Min's memories rushed back. His body grew weak. His 100 days were over. He collapsed to the floor, and as he opened his eyes, he saw the Guardian once again, this time in Min's own form. The Guardian said, "This is your last chance. Can you finally answer the question? Why did you take your own life?" Min, with tears in his eyes, replied, "Yes, I can. The reason I died was me. I am the cause of my own suicide. The guardian smiled. At last, the right answer. You've faced your punishment. Now you can live your life as your own. And with that, the guardian disappeared. When Min woke up, he was alive. Overjoyed, he left school and ran to the hospital to see his mother. She broke down in tears, apologizing. "Forgive me, son. I don't deserve to be your mother." But Min held her hand and said, "I don't need anyone else's son. You are my mother, and I love you deeply." From that day, Min began a new life, laughing, smiling, and cherishing moments with his brother and mother. They took pictures together, finally as a happy family. And that is how this beautiful story ends. The lesson is clear. Suicide is never the answer. It gives nothing but pain. No matter how heavy life feels, giving up is never the solution. Life is meant to be lived. If you embrace it, life can be beautiful, unbelievably beautiful.
Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you spending time here. If you found this helpful, please like the video and subscribe for more every week. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next upload.